Hello everyone, welcome back to Real Reds Talk, your favourite football fan channel dedicated to Manchester United. This is your preview for the second leg against Nottingham Forest at Old Trafford in the Carabao Cup. Already 3-0 up in this one. No time for complacency is the message I'd put out there. We could plant both feet firmly in the final of the Cup, which hasn't happened since the gut-wrenching final in the Europa League where we went out on penalties. So, yeah, it's still a big game. Obviously, like I said, we're already 3-0 up, but there's still, some degree to it. We've got a massive panel on today. Dan, Adam, Chivi, and Sam. I'm not going to go individually through how you're doing, etc. Small talk because it's just too long. So a thumbs up if we're doing good and a thumbs down if we're doing bad or in the middle. Okay, diagonals, 3 diagonals in there. I don't know what Chivi's doing here and there. That's better. That's all right. At least no one's thumbs down, so we're all good to go. We're obviously going to discuss topics surrounding this game as per, but I also want to focus on some transfer activity and the short-term future for us as a club with a heavy fixture congestion. But before I get into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel, smash a like on the video, and there will be a live watch-along for this game tomorrow. So turn on that notification bell because I'll be live and now before kick-off for team news. Yeah, you know why I said it? Because I'm just used to the previews being the day before. So obviously it's transfer deadline tomorrow. Wow, yeah. What's going on? Tomorrow, I'll be live for deadline day, so that's why we've switched it up. So make sure you tune in for that as well. Right then, let's kick this preview off with a warm-up. This one's to do with transfers. So with the transfer window coming to a close tomorrow night, name one player from each of you who you would go and sign to significantly improve us. A realistic one. So you can't just say Mbappe, Messi, like someone you would go and get right now. Let's say, I don't know, within the, maybe not even Enzo Fernandez funds, because I think that's ridiculous, absolutely out there, but let's say 30 to 80 million, around that range. Who would you go and get? Anyone go first?
Casemiro's brother.
What's he called?
You can give any name you want. Casemiro Part 2.
Part 2. Casemiro Part. I'll take him. If he's how much is he going to cost us?
Has he got a son? Has he got a son we can put in?
Bring his whole family.
Yeah.
Fly his whole family in. He has got son. I think he's got 2 sons, actually.
Yeah.
I get them at the academy straight away.
Yeah.
But to be realistic, I would go with Isco because just if you want to replace Eriksen, Isco is like an attacking midfielder.
Put on a bit of pounds, though, recently, Dan. He's put on a bit of pounds. I don't know if you've noticed.
We might as well just sign my mate Frank. Do you know what I mean? Like, let's not go down the Isco route.
I think it's called Frankie, isn't it?
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Like, Isco is just... No, please not. Let's not do that.
Adam, have you got any shouts you want to throw in there?
No, you looked kind of earlier in the window, or the last window. Rabiot wouldn't be a bad, he seems to be one of the few players.
On this battle today?
You have to think realistic, maybe. More realistic.
In fairness, it's a 30 to 80 million, I said. So anywhere between that region. And you said Isco and Rabiot. But if you think they'll be good signings, that's your personal preference, isn't it?
I just said keeping in mind for the six months because in summer we will be going for all out for attacking maybe a good midfielder. But just for the 6 months, I'm going with Isco because he's available and
please pick somebody sensible.
See, Rabiot is a good shout.
Oh, for fucking Christ!
It makes a lot of sense. Rabiot is probably. Listen, he was one of the best midfielders in the World Cup, and he's been playing really well for Juventus. So, it's a good shout, and it's a realistic option. I wouldn't be mad at that at all. If you have Rabiot and Casemiro there in the midfield, he's actually quite good. If you ask me, there's a guy in PSV called Olkan. Some guy called Olkan Koku. He's kind of box to box, kind of attacking, but apparently he's one of the best performers this season. Van Nistelrooy is there. I don't know. It could be something that we could sort of reach out to Netherlands for. But yeah, good shout, Adam. Rabiot, I really wouldn't mind Rabiot right now.
Or if it wasn't for Rabiot's mum, we might not have Casemiro in our team right now. We'd have Rabiot instead.
Well, everything works out for a reason. I'm just saying, if we're looking at January now.
Yeah, right now. Yeah.
Right now, that's a good shout.
I'd lean more towards Rabiot than Isco personally because I feel like Rabiot would be able to fulfill Eriksen's role much better. Whereas Bruno's more. We don't know what's going on with Christian Eriksen with his injuries at the minute, but Bruno's more reliable. You can get more consistency out of him. So yeah, I'm more worried about that kind of position at the minute. Next question: who do you think, or who do you believe United's best signing post Fergie is?
I have to go with Lukaku. I know, I'm joking.
I thought he was being serious then.
You think Bruno, Dan? I thought Adam's head fell off then, honest to God.
Okay, Dan's going with Bruno Fernandes. Sam?
I could have picked Casemiro, but Bruno has been here for 3 years.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
It's a tough one to say. I think looking further on, it's going to be Casemiro. I think we'll all shout. But what Bruno has done, I think, is like 155 games, and he has over 100 goals and assists. Which is a goal contribution in 2 out of 3 games. Like, you can't fault that. He has probably been the most consistent and best player, hands down, for us since Fergie is retired.
Sam?
I didn't get to answer the midfielder question, by the way, so I'm just gonna.
Well, go for it. You got two slots open.
I don't know how to pronounce the guy's name, but he plays for Leipzig. It's spelled Szobolaasi.
Oh,
Szobolaasi.
Yeah, Szobolaasi. Yeah. You mean? I know exactly what you mean.
Very, very good midfielder, highly rated. Probably could get him for about 40-50 million. I think he's 22. I think he's 22.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he quite good on free kicks?
Yeah, good set piece taker.
Hungarian or Bulgarian?
Yeah, could play in the 6, could play in the 8. That is well worth looking at.
Good shout. Good shout.
I think in terms of the best player, I think Bruno is probably it. I would say Leach or Casemiro, but it's too soon. It's too soon to sort of say that. I think Bruno's provided the consistency. Dalot is in with a shout, but again, he's not done it long enough. I thought he's been a very, very good signing. Luke Shaw, not consistent enough either. So, yeah, I think Bruno has to take it.
Oh.
Where?
No, oh, God. Chive, deep in thought there.
Yeah, it has to be Bruno.
Okay. El Capitano. I know it's not all about stats, but he has got very, very good stats since he's come in. He's transferred over from Sporting Lisbon to what he was doing there to literally in the Premier League with Manchester United, even in some of the toughest times. So Bruno was a very good shout. Zlatan was up there for me when he came in. I know he in terms of his injuries and stuff, it wasn't great, but what he did in the short kind of period, he was there. Really, really good signing. But there hasn't been many that we can talk about. One last question. This is more related to obviously the game, to the team that we're playing. If you had to sign one player from Nottingham Forest, who would you sign? Had to though. I'm not saying is there anyone you like you'd pick. Like if there was a gun to your head, like right, you've got to sign one player from Nottingham Forest. Don't say Lingard.
Dean Henderson.
I can see Adams.
Dean Henderson.
No. Still technically a United player. Technically, is there anyone at all?
I like that Brennan Johnson.
The centre back.
There we go. Yeah, I think both shouts there really good. Brennan Johnson looks like a decent player. And the centre back, did you say, Dan?
Yeah, Niakate.
Niakate.
Yeah.
Is it the French centre back, right? Is that correct?
I'm not sure about the country, but he's a young centre back.
Any other shouts?
I think as well, can't he?
Who's what?
The Niakate guy. I think he played for Leipzig or something like that. One of the Red Bull teams, from what I remember. I like. Did I have him on loan from Atletico? Lodi, is it?
Oh, Lodi. Yeah.
He tore us to shreds in those.
I remember that Atletico Madrid game. Yeah, crossing for Yao Felix, didn't he?
I know we're all right in the left side, but he's a decent player.
Yeah.
I also like one more player called who is called Scarpa.
Scarpa.
Yeah, but his age is like he's almost in 30.
He looked good though, didn't he? Especially in the last game.
He got Brazilian Player of the Year as well before he came to Nottingham Forest as well. So
yeah, they're doing all right for us in the market. They're going in for quite a few people. They're trying to mainstay in the Premier League. Do you have anyone, Chive, before we move on?
Yeah, we could go for the big striker, Oni.
Yeah. Fair enough. Right, I'm not going to do a full deep dive of Forest because we literally done a preview last week. So I want to focus a little bit more on us. Incredible home form at the minute. The last time we lost at Old Trafford was Sociedad in September. So not many teams are having joy when they come to visit us. Dan, in regards to that, do you think he'll go strong again tomorrow just to make sure firmly we're in the final? Or do you think he may rotate?
I think he will go strong in the beginning. Maybe first half he can play the first the main players. Then in the second half he can give chances to the second team because he has to keep in mind that we have next game on Saturday, the Premier League game.
Yeah, so, Palace.
Yeah, with Palace. So I think he wants all his players to be fit because now we are like almost couple of players down due to injury. So I don't think he will like to risk this one. And this is a home game, so I think we can be a bit safer, at least in the mindset. So I think he will go with the first team in the first half, and maybe early in the second half, he'll shift the team.
Okay, interesting. Adam, if we manage to get top 4 and win this trophy that we're currently have a very good chance of doing, how would you rate that season for Ten Hag, in your opinion?
Well, if you ask me what would I consider like a really, really good season, given what happened last season, I said top 4 alone probably would have been a good season, given the mess that he inherited. But something that we've wanted for some time now is, a trophy. The people have made websites. When's the last time Man United have won a trophy? In the last 6 years, people have set up these sites, and you just want to see the end of that crap. And we're on the doorstep of Wembley now. We are, and I really, really think if you had looked at it in a sense that we win this cup, finish top 4, I'd probably give it an 8 out of 10 season. Like, just for the mess that he's inherited, how he's actually, come out on top of everything. All the criticism at the start of the season, the Ronaldo situation, change of ownership as well that it is going through. No funds in January. He's had to bring in a loanee striker. Like, you can't fault the guy for what he's done. He's excelled. Like, he's gone above your expectations of what we were expecting this season, and potentially, after the FA Cup at the weekend, the only opposition that we might be up against now could be City for the FA Cup. Like, we're probably second favourites. So I'd give it an 8 out of 10. So, like, if the season finishes that way, 8 out of 10, potentially 2 trophies.
Yeah, I was about to say, you mentioned the FA Cup there. Can one of you keep an eye on that draw to see who we get, and we'll announce it whilst we're live? It'd be interesting to react to that. Chive, I'm constantly poking questions in a minute with this, with the selection from Ten Hag, because I get why he's going strong. I get he's trying to keep that mentality and the momentum going. But do you feel like at any point we're going to come to a stop? Do you think longevity-wise, like what's your opinion on that situation?
Stop, like, do you think? Are you saying the team will get affected by
injuries? Yeah.
Yeah, it's bound to happen. With the games coming thick and fast, it's definitely bound to happen because I think we'll be playing 2 games a week at some point, like constantly. So, and with how thin the squad is, yeah, that's gonna happen. What we've been lucky with this season is our defense. So we've only seen like Rafael Varane get injured often, but everyone else has been all right. And with Luke Shaw being able to play in the centre back, it's made it a lot easier. So if we can be defensively solid and take our chances on rotating the midfield and the attack, I think we might manage to scrape through. And I don't know how long Eriksen's injury is. I heard something about 4 weeks, but I'm not sure.
Couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah,
that's what
But if we're able to be solid defensively and leverage, our success on, say, the speed of our attackers, because we're equally dangerous without the ball. We don't always need the ball to be a threat. Yeah. So I think we might just be able to scrape through, but
risky, innit?
It's risky. It will come back to haunt us, I think, especially with us not doing it, because I don't think we're going to sign anyone. There's no indication that we're signing anyone, and I think we're just going to have to, to just thug it out, basically.
Is that the optimistic Chive?
I'm not. I'm always just realistic. You guys keep saying I'm optimistic. I'm just a realistic person, man.
Got one. I've got one. Lovely. I know. It's just yeah. With that in mind, Sam, what fringe players, young players, would you be bringing in for this if you're the manager tomorrow? Eric 10, Sam, let's say.
Eric 10, Sam. I watched, just as a little side note, I watched an American TikTok guy talk about Man United, and he referred to Ten Hag as 10 every time he spoke about him. It was fucking weird. It was so bizarre. He was just going, yeah, 10's got the players playing really well, and 10's picked it.
Oh, that is weird.
Like, it's fucking bad.
Proper. That's like really uncomfortable.
It sent me west.
Thanks, 10. Thanks, 10.
It sent me west. I was just listening to it. I was listening to it going, this is fucking weird. But anyway, yeah, I think Garnacho would be a good option. Give Rashford a rest. I think Pellistri be another good option. It seems like he's staying now. Like Ten Hag has basically said, yeah, he's staying. So that might be nice. We're going to have to swap somebody out for Eriksen because he's clearly out. Whether that's like Scott McTominay or Fred or somebody like that, they come into the team. I think Bruno keeps playing because he just seems to play every game. That just seems to be the way it is. And then centre-backs, you might see Maguire and Lindelof back there again. Again, save Varane and sort of Lissandro for Crystal Palace. You'd probably see Malacia. Dalot's still injured. Is he still out?
It's a question. I'm going to get into the availabilities in a second.
He's probably not going to be there. And we've yet to see Butland come into the team in the cup competitions. So yeah. I don't know what's happening.
Dubravka will probably go back to Palace by the end of this window.
So I don't know what's happening there. Like, if we're going to chuck him in or not, maybe. But yeah, they'd be the ones that I think we will see. What I'd like to see, I'd love to see a Kobe Mainoo get a chance. I'd love to see Zidane Iqbal get a chance. I'd love to see any of those guys get an opportunity, but I don't think we see those guys, unfortunately.
I think you definitely see something, by the way, in Kobe Mainoo. I don't know if any of you guys noticed.
He's been on the bench. He's been on the bench every single time, and Zidane Iqbal's no longer there either. Zidane Iqbal hasn't been on the bench for like the last couple of so don't know what's happened there.
I think we'll see more of Kobe
for sure.
as the game's going, because I think Ten Hag seems to favour him now. He's not just on the bench; he's coming on games now.
Yep.
So.
Yep.
I like the matureness and how simply he keeps it, Kobe Mainoo. When you watch him on the pitch, is for his age, you can see why Ten Hag likes him, and it'd be interesting to see him get a couple more minutes. Given obviously we don't spill a lead tomorrow night, lads, of 3-0, which would be absolutely catastrophic. It's either going to be Newcastle or Southampton in the final. How would you fancy our chances against either team? So if it is Southampton, how do you think we'd do? If it's Newcastle, how do you think we'd get on, judging from previous games as well?
Southampton, we smash them. Absolutely, like brick them. I don't see that as a hard opposition whatsoever. Newcastle, it'd be interesting because I don't think they've conceded in a long time. I think their defence is like one of the best defences in the league. We didn't manage to score against them when we played them at Old Trafford either, which doesn't lend itself well. I think Nick Pope has got, 14 clean sheets, I think.
We've got the best defensive record in the league.
So it's going to be very hard to score against them, and they're not bad up front either. They've got a decent forward line with Bruno Guimaraes and that going forward. So it'd be definitely a difficult game. I wouldn't be like, oh, definitely United are going to win. It'd be a tough game. But if it's Southampton, yeah, we shouldn't fear that at all.
That'd obviously be a repeat, wouldn't it, of the last League Cup final we was in, Southampton, when we beat him. Was it 3-2? Zlatan scored 2, I think. How do you fancy our chances, Chive, against Newcastle and or Southampton? Are you not bothered about either? Do you think we'd easily smash them?
Be both. I think obviously Southampton would be the easier game to win. Don't forget, Sam, when we played Newcastle, like we had chances. We just burned our chances. Like Rashford had that header at the end. We could have easily done them. I think we have enough to beat. For some reason I'm just not scared of Newcastle.
I'm not scared of them. I don't think they'd beat us. I just think we'd have trouble scoring. I think that'd be the problem.
True.
Yeah.
True. But I think we're just that little bit more organized, and we have just that little bit more creativity to be able to break them down like they would to break us. And I think it's I already see the trophy as ours. Like it's in the bag.
Oh,
no disrespect. No.
That's getting clipped.
Yeah, probably. But no. Seriously, I just think that we just have that little bit extra
With a fully fit squad, yeah,
yeah.
Yeah,
It won't
absolutely.
be easy, but yeah, I think we'll do it.
Dan, Adam, any of you want to add to that at all?
I think Southampton, we can see that we are if they have very less chance to come into final as well. So, but against Newcastle, I'm still a bit scared, to be honest, because that's why they are on the third rank in the table. So they have developed that little fear factor amongst the opponents. So I think still Newcastle could be a tricky one because their form, the way they play, the football, the style of play, everything has changed in their whole team. So every player is playing like they're not like individuals, but they are like a more team. So I'm scared of a team rather than individual players. So that's why I'm bit 50-50 on that one. But yeah, I can see us winning the game. But still, we have to keep in mind that we have a couple of players out on injury, and now we have a lot of games in a cluster, including Barcelona games as well. So we may lose a couple of more players, to be honest, if we do not buy at least one midfielder, because now Fred and McTominay will be shifted in the alternative games, which it seems like. So I think we may lose a couple of players more into injury. So that's where I'm a little doubtful with our form.
Breaking news,
Adam,
sorry to interrupt. We play Derby or West Ham in the FA Cup next round.
Happy days. I'll take that all day. I bet it's at home as well. Every fixture we're getting in a minute.
We got it at home.
I guarantee it's at home. Yeah, Adam, that makes a great point there in regards to the Barcelona game, because I think it's between the two legs when we play the final, between the Barcelona game. So how do you manage that? Like, in terms of the players, if we get a big injury like before the final, it's going to be huge, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to be at that point where I know not many of us remember back to 1999 when you had that kind of nearly 10-day stretch of winning the league, the FA Cup, and the Champions League. How do you prioritize that? Because every competition is a priority at that point.
It's a minefield for a manager, isn't it? That situation.
Yeah. The only thing is, if he's able to maybe, do something defensively at the new camp, like maybe play a few second, teamers, and then try and get away with a draw in that, and then bring it back to Old Trafford. You play the game at the final, then go all out in the second leg. Just got to wait and see. It is tricky. Every game's a final these days, and I think Ten Hag said it the best. The most important game is always the next game. That's what you have your eyes set for. And don't look down the line, because if you look down the line, you're going to be tired reading the list that's coming up in the next 4 or 5 weeks.
Yeah. It's all right going in with that mentality, innit? But then, like, I know you take it one game at a time, but if you're not even at least looking towards the future, like, look at the games, like you just said, we've got 20 games in 60 days or something. Like, it is ridiculous. I think I saw a stat that suggested it was like probably the busiest schedule for a team in the past 25 years or something, in terms of how many games we've got. It's mental.
Last year, Ralph Ragnick came out and said our team were not fit enough to play any sort of football as well.
Yeah.
So
it's good job.
Have the biggest fixture congestion in the last 25 years, you're saying? And our team last year were nowhere fit to even just play a certain style of football. Now they're meant to play all like 3 games a week.
It's a good job. We've got massive squad depth to cope with all this, isn't it? It's a good job. That's
well, you've actually just given me the perfect segue there, Sam. So just a quick one on availability. As far as I'm aware, obviously we usually do these a day before the game, so we've got as much opportunity to figure out what the squad will be looking like. But I believe we're in a similar situation. Question marks over Diego Dallo. I'm not sure if he's fully fit. I know he was watching the game, the last game we played in, but I no idea with his fitness. Jadon Sancho, question marks on him. We thought he'd be coming back against Reading. Will this be the perfect one to bring him back in? Absolutely no idea. And there's still no definitive news on Eriksen, unless any of you guys have heard anything. I've seen rumours, but it's only speculation at the minute. So how much of a miss will Christian Eriksen be, Dan, to this team?
I think we will miss his creativity for sure. We actually had in the midfield 2 hands of creativity in Bruno Fernandes and Eriksen. Now we'll be missing one of the hands in the midfield. So and this will be even more bigger miss just because even Van de Beek is also out sidelined with the injury. So that is even hurting us more, because if if we lose Eriksen, then if Van de Beek would have been there, then he would have this would have been his chance to play. And this he has been very unlucky with this United career, because whenever there's a moment like when he has when he'll get his chance and he gets injured, and that's where we also miss that creativity in Eriksen, because now we had those type of attackers who need the supply from midfield, and we had those players, and now suddenly now we have a striker who can finish those creative passes, but now we will be lacking those creativity, and I don't think Fred and McTominay can fill that spot. But to see in a different way, Casemiro and Fred in the midfield can still work out well, but that creativity will still be lacking on that side.
Yeah. How would you feel about that midfield, Adam, starting Casa Fred? Are you confident with that in most games? Because I know Fred's been really good under Ten Hag, like his impact off the bench, doing certain jobs like he did on De Bruyne. But we know he's very hot and cold as well, isn't he, in certain games? So would you still be confident with that midfield pairing?
The starting kind of midfield pairing, probably not. I like what he kind of has going right now, where it was Eriksen and Casemiro, and then later on in the game, Fred comes on, that burst of energy. 90 minutes for Fred might be a bit risky, especially as you're saying, he's hot and cold. Could be first half, he could be, say, the opposition's best player. Second half, he could be our best player. Yeah. We've seen it happen in the past. We really, really should be looking at options. I don't get why we're not now, especially after what happened with Eriksen, and especially in the next 4 weeks. There's massive games, 2 legs against Barcelona, more than likely a Carabao Cup final. We're looking at it. We're on the doorstep, and I wouldn't be fully confident, if I'm being honest. And you never know with these injuries. We're saying 4 weeks, could potentially be longer then, later on. Maybe tweak something later on in training. And that's the risk of football as well. And you can tell we're down to the what's the saying?
Bare bones
of the squad.
Bare bones.
Bare bones, yeah. Bare bones of the squad. That's what it is. And we spent this money, but we don't have any depth to show for it.
I do believe someone like you. I know it's in fantasy land, but if we had like owners who, if it's the new owners now, we would go get a Yuri Tillemans or someone else. Like it's. I think he'd be fitting perfect to the way we played. It's slotting for Eriksen really well, and then you've got great backup then as well. Or maybe you can bench Eriksen. You just don't know. But yeah, it's United, isn't it? Chivy, I'll let you have your yawn, and then what have you made of Christian Eriksen? Since he's joined the club, just looking back at it since he's been here, when you first found out he's signing on a free, how would you assess his performances so far?
Fantastic. When he was rumored to be signing with us, obviously everyone was a bit, worried about how that would look because of what had happened at the World Cup. So I wasn't sure he was going to play this many games. I thought maybe he would just be there, sort of like a backup sort of thing. But in terms of his ability, like it's amazing. Like his creativity. I love a thinking midfielder. Like that's what I really, really like. I've been beating that drum ever since. And he's a perfect thinking midfielder. And he's really impressed everyone because we all thought he was gonna play in the 10. Everybody was wondering how they were gonna do that with Bruno. But he's actually played in a much deeper role that requires a lot more, and he does a lot more running than people think he does. I know his defense and his interceptions haven't been as record breaking, but those are not his strengths. But he's managed to put in a decent shift as well. So I think he doesn't get he gets a lot of credit, but I think people forget that he's always been more of an attacking player, and this is the first time he's actually playing deep, and he's held that position well. Like, for us to go from Fred and McTominay to Casemiro and Eriksen, it's just it's completely transformed our team. So yeah, he's been brilliant. He's been absolutely brilliant, and I hope it's not really as bad as it seems. Because I remember in the World Cup, Neymar had that injury and his ankle was swollen, and he left the stadium on crutches, but he played the next game. So you never know with these things. Sometimes the crutches is just a precaution. Just so you're not putting pressure on the foot when you're walking.
Same thing happened to Bruno Guimaraes for Newcastle, didn't he? he left on crutches and he was crying, and then he played 6 days later. So
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So it could be one of those
to get a midfielder.
Okay.
Could be a smoke screen to get a midfielder. Who knows?
Yeah.
It could be,
Eriksen, yeah, just fucking put a tennis ball in your sock there, mate, and just pretend.
Yeah, but yeah, just to answer your question, he's been fantastic, amazing. I think he's top 3 in assists.
Second behind De Bruyne.
Second, exactly, yeah. So yeah, he's been brilliant.
And Sam, obviously,
deeper than Bruno as well.
Yeah, exactly. He's been effective from deeper in midfield. I remember when we was talking about it, weren't we, Sam? Do you remember, like, very near the start of the channel, but about him signing for Brentford, and we was like, oh, it'd be a great option, really calm, composed on the ball. They need that creativity that was lacking in that midfield. It's come a long way now, hasn't it? Since he's thinking for us.
Yeah, I always thought he was a quality player. I think at Spurs, I was like a bit envious that Spurs had got someone like that, like slightly unknown at the time, but like absolute dead ball ability, fantastic. His passing was sublime, and it just baffled me why he ended up going out to Italy. He was just like, he was in like the prime of his career. It was just like, why are you going out to Serie A? Like, would you stay in the Premier League? Like, it's a weird career decision. And then obviously the tragedy, the Euros, which was like, oh, this guy's. Not only did we think he was dead after what happened to him, we thought, well, his career is definitely over. You're not going to be able to carry on with that. And to come back from that happening, Brentford gave him an opportunity, and he absolutely ended up being their best player that season, even though he came in January. Was it January? He came in January, didn't he?
Dude.
So
Eriksen.
Yeah.
For United?
No, for Brentford.
Oh, right. Sorry. Yeah, go on.
So he came in January and ended up being their player of the season, even though he'd only been there 6 months. So yeah, the guy's just pure quality, and I'm glad we have him. But again, yet another player, age 30. I wish we would have got earlier. It's just a shame.
Yeah.
It's Casemiro's the same way. I just wish we would have got him earlier.
Well, imagine, obviously, it's Eriksen who's got injured now, but imagine if there was an opportunity on the market right now to go get someone like that as a free agent. Like, it'd be fucking perfect. Get Eriksen to replace Eriksen.
There's deals we can do that would be maybe not to that level, but on a similar level. But
at low cost, do you think there is?
Yeah, but our board just won't go do it. Our board won't do it. They're not capable. B, they haven't got the savvy or the sort of connections to do these deals. And C, they don't want to spend any ounce of money. So that's why it's not happening. Brighton do it every fucking week. Every time a top player gets nicked off them, they go find the next one. They do it all the fucking time. Like what? They've had Cucurella, Ben White, and now they're having Cassie, taken away from
Basuma as well.
Basuma. And this guy who's popped up in the last couple of weeks, Mitomo, the Japanese guy, absolutely smashing it. He's going to be the next one who ends up on his way as well. So like Trossard as well, another one. They do it all the time. This club does it all the time. There's no reason why we shouldn't be doing that. We'd be able to pick these guys up very easily for low cost and blade them into the team. Imagine them working under the progression they would make under Ten Hag. Be phenomenal.
Yeah, Brighton certainly have the wits about them, don't they? In the
and
market.
To add on that Eriksen part, what also we'll miss is that like we have always spoken that the players like Eriksen, Casemiro, Lisandro Martinez, they actually builds up that confidence. And but now when Eriksen is not there, players like Malacia or whosoever is playing on the left back or on the left wing, if Eriksen is there, they will be making runs constantly. But now if we have a player like Fred or McTominay, they will be thinking like whether to make runs or not. So that will also be affected in those areas.
Well, we had a similar issue.
We can play bingo for every time Dan says Fred or McTominay. Like someone needs to take a shot.
Yeah. But it's mentally scarred us though from watching him for 3 years. That's what it is. I know exactly what you're talking about, because I remember under Ole, Rashford would stop anytime McTominay picked up the ball or Fred. Rashford would stop making them runs as opposed to when Bruno picked it up. So now we got Eriksen, who's capable of playing them balls in behind. They're used to it now. You've got different creative outlets.
It's like Maguire and Lindelof. Do you remember every time that we'd get hit on the counter, and Maguire and Lindelof, we'd all just go, "This is going to be a goal." It's just going to be a goal, because Maguire would get turned. He won't have the mobility. Turn around and then
Lindelof,
Lindelof would get bullied out of the way, and it'd just be like, that's a goal. And it's just like, it was so like PTSD from it. When I saw him line up the other week, I was just like, oh God, what is going to go on here? But it's just like, it's a different team now. It's a different mentality. So.
Yeah, at least we're not in them times anymore, though. You know what I mean? You can look back at them times and look at where we're at right now. Under 6 months of Ten Hag, the future looks bright. I don't give a shit what anyone says. It's looking good. Right, let's do some quick fire questions. Fuck it. Will we score more or less than the first leg? So more than 3 goals or less than 3 goals tomorrow. Wednesday.
Less.
Everyone a full house there of less, yeah? Cool. Will Sancho get minutes?
No.
I think yes.
Yeah.
Because this would be the best moment to give him minutes. Because if after this game there will be more important games, like more pressure creating games, but this could be the more like relieving game.
Juve? Agreed?
I'm gonna say yes just because I want it to happen. I'm not sure if it will, but you know.
Yeah, fingers
just
crossed.
Just put that good energy out there. Hopefully.
Yeah, that positive, optimistic
But if you
energy.
think from Ten Hag's side, this would be the game to give him minutes, because after this you'll have Premier League games and then Barcelona game. You won't be giving minutes.
It would make sense to do that, but you know Ten Hag.
We said that about Redding.
Yeah.
We said the same thing about Redding, and he wasn't even in the squad. So.
Yeah. You never know. It could start Varane, Lisandro, Casemiro.
Yeah.
Like, you just really do not know with him. Yeah. Just to score another 6 goals to make sure you're in that final 9-0. Yeah. Will we concede tomorrow night? Wednesday night. Fucking hell. Jesus.
No, I think we keep a clean sheet.
Yeah.
I think yes.
Adam says no. Adam says, you think? Oh, do you think they will score?
Yeah.
I think they will score, yeah.
Oh, difference there, 50-50 split. Will we be favourites in the final? If Newcastle make it?
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Yeah. And then give me one youngster who deserves to start tomorrow, or you want to see tomorrow.
Unlikely.
Wednesday.
Do you want unlikely, or do you want like somebody who's got an actual?
No,
chance
just
to
someone
start?
you really want to see tomorrow night.
I think Garnacho should be given an opportunity, and he will. But I think Zidane Iqbal should get an opportunity, but he won't.
Nice.
I want to see Kobe Mino in the kind of Eriksen position. I know he kind of played, was it more attacking mid in that Charlton game, was it? I think it was. Which isn't fully his kind of more natural position. So maybe throw him in Eriksen's position, see how he gets on. And it's more of a comfortable position for him. And I think that's one of the positions that, you know, we can give the chance to, considering Eriksen is out.
Mm-hmm.
And then you have the more important game at the weekend. So rest the more first team players for that. So yeah, I'd give him a game.
Mm-hmm. Anyone else?
Charlie Savage there still in the team? Or
No.
he's
I
gone,
think he's gone on loan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Charlie McNeil's gone on loan as well, by the way, just for people who think he's gone on loan to Plymouth. Was it Plymouth Argyle, I think?
Newport.
Oh, no, it might be
Newport, wasn't it?
Newport.
Yeah.
Was it Newport?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think then I would like Zidane Iqbal to have his minutes tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah, Iqbal's a good shout. Chive, last one.
Definitely.
Who?
Kobe Mino.
Oh, Kobe Manu. Yeah, I agree.
Is he your guy then, Chivy? So I've got Garnacho, Nick's got Ahmad. Is Manu your guy, man?
What do you mean?
Like, we've all got a youth player that we all like sort of support and push. Is Kobe Manu your guy?
Can't the priest.
No,
He's gonna say they're all my guys. That's what he's gonna say.
No, Garnacho. I'm a big Garnacho fan.
Good lad.
So,
Good lad.
Alejandro Garnacho.
I'm still sad that James Garner left. Like, I was a huge Jimmy Garner fan. Like, yeah.
Well, he's not exactly pulling up trees for Everton, though, is he?
Yeah, but then, you know, it's one of those things. Like, you could have performed for us. It doesn't mean, you know.
Yeah.
Can I just ask what Adam's laughing at, please?
Adam made a joke about Catholic priests, and he's absolutely loving it. and he was just laughing to himself about it. So
I missed that. I absolutely missed that. So let's just carry on this. No. Let's carry on. Let's carry on before the show gets ruined.
When Garner went that time. Ten Hag already came in the club.
Yeah,
he was there. Yeah.
I think that's a bad decision by Garner, because he should have known that Ten Hag is a type of person who gives chances to these type of players.
I think,
it was a board. I think it was a board sell. I don't think Ten Hag had a choice. I think the board was just like.
And I felt it because all his social media, he just had like a black picture, like black profile, like it was just dark. Like take it off. It's like you could tell he really felt it, and I was just like, fuck.
Yeah, feel for him, to be fair, but they probably just said, we fucked up, we've overspent, so we're gonna have to sell. James Garner was one you can recoup 10 to 15 million, get him gone. And Ten Hag was like, well, I've got Casemiro on the midfield now, so it's, you know what I mean. Predicted 11s. Let's try to get through this quick as possible if we can. Adam, I'll start off with your bright self, from the goalkeeper onwards.
I gotta go Butland. Why not mix it up? I think Wan-Bissaka again. I don't know who else he can really play in that position now with Dallo injured. Maguire, Lindelof, Malacia. And then in midfield, McTominay, Kobe Main, and Bruno. Okay. And then up front, Garnacho, Weghorst, and Palestri.
You know, every time I hear you say Maguire, it reminds me of Keane. You know when Keane goes, Maguire.
Really?
Proper
really?
reminds me.
Really, Mika? Really?
That's your job. Dan?
Yeah, I think Butland will start, and then Wan-Bissaka. Centre back would be a tricky one. I think Maguire and Martinez. Then left back, I think Malacia will still get another chance. And then in the midfield, I think Casemiro and Fred will start. Then Bruno ahead of them. And then front three would be left side Garnacho, Weghorst, and I think Anthony will start on the right.
That's very close to my team, that. Very, very close. Samuel.
Yeah, I think he goes De Gea again, because I don't know what's happening with Butland. I don't know why we bought him.
Butland's done his medicals,
no,
to be honest.
Is he at the club? Has anybody seen him train? Because God knows.
Let us know. Milk cartons.
Yeah,
please.
Exactly. So I think De Gea starts. Wan-Bissaka, because Dallo, again, don't know his injury status at this point. Maguire, Lindelof, Malacia, Casemiro, Fred, Bruno, and then I think Palestri, Garnacho, and Weghorst.
Big vault. Chive, hit us up.
Same as Sam's, but instead of Palestri, he will go Anthony, I think.
Nice shortcut. I like it. Saving time. I'm going to go with, very quickly, I'm going to go Jackie B. I think Jackie B gets his first start tomorrow night. Wan-Bissaka, Maguire, and Lisandro Martinez at centre-back. I think Luke Shaw comes in at left-back. Casemiro, Fred, and Bruno Fernandes make up the midfield, and then Anthony, Weghorst, and Garnacho, and Marcus Rashford gets a wrench. Doesn't get a wrench because he starts slapping people over the head. He gets a rest on the bench. That's what I meant to. I'm so tired.
Fergie's back in the club. He's chucking things at people.
Yeah. Right, score predictions. We're almost there. Come on, hit me up.
2-0.
2-1.
Dan?
2-1. 2-1.
2-1. Jibby?
3-0.
3-0. Again, 6-0 on aggregate. Goal scorers, just any
Nick,
random ones.
What you say, Nick? Score?
2-0, Garnacho and Weghorst.
I'll go Garnacho and Bruno.
I'll go Anthony and Fred.
And Fred?
hey, listen, you see that flick?
He's not scoring 2 in a row. He's not doing two games in a row. It's not fucking happening.
I don't know. He's doing all right, Fred, man, at the minute. I don't mind him coming off the bench. I think he's been doing okay. So we've had one Fred, Garnacho's, Bruno's, Weghorst. Yeah, maybe even Anthony. Very quickly, last thing on Anthony. A lot of criticism of late. People absolutely drilling him. What is just the overall assessment of him since his criticism? Do you think he's took on board the instructions from Ten Hag? I know in the press conference after the game, he was talking about like his directness, verticality, 1v1 situations. Are we happy with the progress he's making so far?
Can I ask what the fuck is verticality?
Verticality. I think it's when you play on that in the half spaces, isn't it?
I saw him say it, and I was like, I have no idea what that fucking word is. Like verticality.
Yeah. So,
like,
you know the situation
what,
where
is he going up in the air? Like, what the fuck's he doing? Verticality.
No, it's just positive, direct, and when you run, like in the half spaces, and he's running at people. I think that's what he meant. I don't know. I'm not a coach, but yeah.
I was going to say, so I'm old enough to remember when Ronaldo first started for Man United. And it wasn't always rosy. Like he started off really just rough around the edges.
Frustrating.
Doing lots of picks and all that, but you could see the talent there. And I'm seeing a similarity with Anthony as well. And what I like about him is determination. Like he's not giving us I'm not getting the vibes that he's being discouraged by everything that's happening. He's going harder and harder, and he scored. Well, he created a lot of chances in the first leg.
Yeah.
I think, so there was a chance he had for Bruno as well. I think he'll take it. I think he's the sort of player that takes criticism and turns it into something positive. And the manager said so as well. Let's not forget that he's known this. He brought him from Brazil. He brought him to
Ajax.
Yeah. So I think Ten Hag believes in him. I think he's the sort of player that just needs that. To know that his manager believes in him and teammates believe in him, and he'll come good.
Ten Hag doesn't buy personalities that shy away from criticism or shy away from a bit of adversity, like Lisandro Martinez, Casemiro, Eriksen, etc. Anthony's in the same mold. Like he's not going to be bothered by this criticism by pundits or criticism by the fans, etc. And he showed some positive improvements in the last game. I thought he was decent. Improved in his game. He's used his right foot a bit more, which is what we've been crying out for. And again, Chivy's right. When Ronaldo came and he had the sort of noodle hair, I remember, and he was running down the wing, and then he'd get to the byline, and then he'd just either lose the ball or he'd do a couple of step overs, get tackled. And you used to scream at him. You'd scream at him because of just the wastefulness of him. Eventually he developed. Eventually he became good, started putting an end product on it, etc. Now, I'm not putting Anthony in the same category of the camp as Ronaldo's level, but it's a similar feeling. Wingers are like this. Wingers have a bit of inconsistency at times, and this is just the way it is. And he's only 22. He's going to get better. It's his first 6 months in the league, first 6 months at Man United. It's a fucking massive step up from Ajax to Manchester United. I don't care who you are. It's a huge step up. So give him time. He will come good. It's just a matter of time. It's not a matter of if. It's a matter of when. He will come good.
I thought it was a nice touch from Casemiro as well after, obviously, with the assist from Anthony. He was kind of arm round him, pointing at him. Both Sao Paulo graduates, aren't they? Came from the same academy. So it's nice to see that. Big up to Casemiro as always. I think that's everything, guys. So that concludes the preview. Thank you for tuning in. Please click that subscribe button and smash a like on the video. Make sure you follow us on all social media: Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. And as stated before, I'll be live an hour before kickoff on YouTube and TikTok. So make sure you join me and we can go through the team news together as always. Any final thoughts, lads, before we head off? Anything you want to put out there? If not, it's absolutely fine.
Ten Hag's first trophy.
Lovely. Yeah, I will end on that. Perfect. See you later, guys. Peace.